Now, I don't watch much television, and the TV that I do watch tends to be like the books I read, more nonfiction than fiction. I hadn't really followed a TV series since the original Law and Order. Now, that was until I started watching AMC's The Walking Dead. Like many people, I could not have imagined myself enjoying, let alone watching regularly, a series about zombies. But one night in 2013, I got curious and watched the pilot. I was hooked right away. I said to myself, I'll watch one more episode just to see what would happen to Rick in the tank. Before I knew it, I'd plowed through the entire 6-episode season and was already thinking about watching more. I was married at the time, and so I convinced my then wife to rewatch the first season with me, and she also enjoyed the series. We ended up getting caught up to the point where the show was at that time, and we watched it regularly up to the middle of season 9. I stepped away from the show at the end of 2018 and hadn't planned on going back to it. And then, well, you know what happened a few months ago in March of 2020, and all of a sudden I found myself with a lot of free time on my hands. I convinced my girlfriend, who was as skeptical as I was about a drama about zombies, to binge watch everything with me right from the beginning. And that brings me to the purpose of this video. As we pounded out 146 episodes over 8 weeks, I noticed that there were certain scenes that stood out in my mind from watching them the first time around. Certain scenes, due to their production, horror value, humor, badass nature, or some combination of those things, seemed to stand out in my mind. And with that, I decided to make my list of the top 25 most memorable scenes from seasons 1 to 10. I'm sure it goes without saying that this entire video contains spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen all episodes of The Walking Dead. So with that, let's get started. Number 25, Don't Dead, Open Inside. Now, there's probably no more iconic place to start than just after Rick wakes up in the hospital and starts piecing together what exactly is going on here. This scene begins with Rick exiting his room and looking down the hall. The ominous light flickering on and off, juxtaposed with the otherwise dead silence throughout, is suggesting that something is very wrong in this hospital. Rick cycles through what any of us would do. He tries a phone, but it's dead. He rifles through a nursing station and finds a match to light the way. He walks down a hall with the flickering light at the end, and when he gets to the end, he sees a corpse of a woman that appears to have her innards torn out. Panicked, he runs down a different hall. Rick advances and notices that the wall is riddled with bullet holes. He also notices that on the floor there's a pool of blood, and he walks past that towards the end of the hall. Both Rick and the viewer first notice the creaking door, indicating that there is movement from behind it. The door is chained and padlocked, and there's a 2x4 jammed in the handles for good measure. In large text is written, "Don't open, dead inside." Or "Don't dead, open inside." Rick next hears the voices and sees hands grasping out through the openings in the door. Terrified, Rick tries a different path. This whole episode is memorable, and this is probably the most memorable scene from within it. This scene was used again in Season 9, Episode 5, Rick's final scene. As he was losing blood, he began to hallucinate, and in one of the hallucinations, he came upon the door saying, "Don't open, dead, outside." Ultimately, he goes and he finds the dead bodies of everybody that he knows. Number 24, Easy Street. Oh man, if you watch this episode and did not end up with this song stuck in your head, please let me know down in the comments, because as far as I know, this song has a 100% success rate of blowing everybody's brains out. This was a good way for the producers to show us, in a Groundhog Day sort of way, the sheer punishment that Dwight was putting Daryl through every single day.
Now, Daryl has had a pretty rough season. He's been enslaved, tortured, beaten up, beaten down.
Stripped.
Had to listen to Easy Street like 1,000 times. That's got to be your ringtone now.
I hate that song. I'll say it, yeah.
Number 23, My Name is Judith. This one largely speaks for itself. After a 7-year time jump after Rick's disappearance, we're introduced to some new characters.
You got names?
Those new characters get rescued by this young girl.
Connie and Kellyanne. You look.
Immediately, we notice Rick's hat there, and then we get this memorable line.
Judith. Judith Grimes.
Number 22, Maggie hangs Gregory.
I don't want to do this. But people need to understand that at Hilltop, the punishment fits the crime.
This one was memorable largely because Gregory had continually been one of the biggest asses on the show, and most viewers were glad to see him go. It was also significant because it contrasted Rick's way with Maggie's way of dealing with people who were too far gone.
Stop this! Please! For the love of God! Stop it!
Maggie, stop!
Get the children back in bed.
Number 21, Rick slits Negan's throat.
It's just you and me, Rick. And you are torn open. I am bigger. I am better. And I got a bet. We can have a future. I know I will.
Just give me 10 seconds so I can tell you how.
No.
Just give me 10 seconds for Carl. Carl said it doesn't have to be a fight anymore.
He was wrong. H.
No. He was right.
Look what you did. Carl, you did no damn
This piece of stained glass, Rick grabbed from one of two stained glass panes which was hanging from this tree. When we first saw the panes in Season 8, Episode 9, the piece Rick used to cut Negan would have likely come from the one on the left, since that one is hung portrait style and the one on the right is landscape. A pretty smart move by Rick Grimes, I'd say. But after thinking back to what Carl had wanted, Rick has a change of heart.
Save him.
No! Maggie! No, he can't! No! No, he killed Glenn!
We have to.
We have to end it! Rick! We have to make it right! No! It's not over! It's not over until he's dead! It's not over until he's dead! No! 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 No!
Number 20, Tainted Meat.
But at the end of the day, no matter how much we hate all this ugly business, a man's gotta eat. If it makes you feel any better, you taste much better than we thought you would.
There's something particularly disturbing about the idea of cannibalism, and something even more disturbing about waking up to find out that you're being eaten. That alone would make this scene memorable, but what really makes this scene a top 25 scene is how Bob ends up turning the tables.
I'm being a human being here. I'm talking to you. Perspective, Bob. You're above ground. And you're better off than them.
Well, we lost it.
Lasted longer than I thought he would.
You idiot.
Keep it down.
I can shut him up.
I've been bitten, you stupid pricks. I'm tainted meat.
Let's just kill him now.
Might as well be eating one of them.
What the hell's gonna happen? We gonna turn? We're just gonna die?
Albert, calm the hell down. We cooked him. Everything is gonna be fine.
Why the hell didn't you check him first?
Because he was fine. Tainted meat!
Shut up.
You eating tainted meat!
Number 19, Wolves Invade Alexandria. Morgan went through this every life is precious phase when he absolutely refused to kill anybody, even if that person was a legitimate threat to his own life or someone else's. After Terminus and the whole Grady Memorial side plot, the next major threat that arose was that of the wolves. We are introduced to the wolves when we see some graffiti on the wall that says, "Wolves not far." We also see this when we see people with W's carved into their heads, and also several piles of bodies with their arms and legs hacked off when Noah tries to find his family. Now that's as far back as Season 5, Episode 9. By Season 5, Episode 16, we begin to understand specifically who they are. The episode begins with the scene that has been playing in the background. Ultimately, despite the two wolves trying to kill Morgan, and despite him knocking them out, he chooses to let them live. Later on, Daryl and Aaron get caught up in a trap only to be saved by Morgan, but in the process, Aaron loses his backpack, which is found by the wolves, containing pictures of Alexandria and the people and lifestyle within it. All of this sets the stage for the serene life at Alexandria being disrupted in the most horrific way.
Richard! What's going on in there? Come on!
I saw them upstairs. They're coming in from all over.
We have to stay here and keep Judith safe.
What happened?
Someone, a group, they got inside the walls. They're killing people.
We need to get in there. You coming? Hide. Quick. Slow.
Leave. Please.
Gonna be slow.
I could have stopped him.
The others back?
No. It's happening out there.
You're doing it now?
We had to.
These people don't have guns.
I could have stopped him.
If they had guns, they'd be using them.
Did you hear me?
We have to get to the armory before they do. If we keep moving, this might work.
You don't have to kill people.
Of course we do.
Carol! You don't like it.
We're gonna get to the armory, and I need your help.
Number 18.
Okay.
Carol freaks
But you've
out
got to
Sam.
promise me you can keep it secret that I came here.
But I'd have to tell my mom. I mean, I tell my mom everything.
You can never tell anyone. Especially your mom. Because if you do, one morning you'll wake up and you won't be in your bed.
Where will I be?
You'll be outside the walls. Far, far away. Tied to a tree. And you'll scream and scream because you'll be so afraid. No one will come to help because no one will hear you. Well, something will hear you. The monsters will come. The ones out there. And you won't be able to run away when they come for you. And they will tear you apart and eat you up all while you're still alive. All while you can still feel it. And then afterwards, no one will ever know what happened to you. Or you can promise not to ever tell anyone what you saw here. And then nothing will happen. And you'll get cookies. Lots of cookies. I know what I think you should do.
Number 17. Just look at the flowers. Coming on the heels of the last clip where Carol freaked out Sam was this other clip from roughly one season earlier. As many may recall, Carol began the show as a meek and mild housewife to Ed Pelletier, who was abusive to her. The scene with Sam as well as this one were among a series of scenes of Carol revealing to the viewer what she was really capable of. These scenes, along with a myriad of others of her being badass, think of her killing the saviors or saving others from Terminus, these were essential scenes on the road of fully developing Carol's character on The Walking Dead. In this scene, Carol has to make the difficult decision of killing Lizzie, who had shown that she was a threat to everybody and could not be rehabilitated.
I love you, Lizzie. And everything works out the way it's supposed to.
I'm sorry. Please don't be mad at me. I'm sorry.
You just look at the flowers, Lizzie. Just look at the flowers. Just look at the flowers.
Number 16. Spencer's got no guts. Can we take a moment here to appreciate that Negan scratched while playing pool and maybe wanted to draw attention away from that? Alright, so we know the story. Spencer was spineless and Negan didn't like that. And this scene is just memorable for just how gruesome it was.
I'm thinking, Spencer. I'm thinking how Rick threatened to kill me, how he clearly hates my guts. But he is out there right now gathering shit for me to make sure I don't hurt any of the fine people that live here. He is swallowing his hate and getting shit done. That takes guts. And then there's you. The guy who waited for Rick to be gone so he could sneak over and talk to me to get me to do his dirty work so he could take Rick's place. So I gotta ask, if you want to take over, why not just kill Rick yourself and just take over?
What? No, I don't...
You know what I'm thinking? 'Cause I have a guess. It's because you got no guts. How embarrassing. There they are. They were inside you the whole time. You did have guts. I've never been so wrong in my whole life.
Number 15, the death of Dr. Emmett Carson. This is another one memorable for its shock value. Sherry had helped Daryl escape his easy street hellhole, and Dwight framed Dr. Carson.
Please, oh Jesus, don't burn me, please.
This is what happened next.
No, please.
Now, you know I hate this shit. Just tell me you did it and that you're sorry, and I don't have to do this.
Yes, I did it. All of it. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Please.
That's all you had to say. That is all you had to say.
Good thing we got a spare Dr. Carson. I trust you, Dwighty boy. Never should have doubted you.
Number 14, the death of Otis. Otis was the farmhand at Herschel's farm who shot Carl by accident. He and Shane went on a run to retrieve medical supplies to save Carl, and here's what happened.
Down to my last. Me too. I'm sorry.
Number 13. Rick kills Shane.
Raise your gun. You're gonna have to kill an unarmed man.
As was seen from the previous scene with Otis, Shane's character had really developed into that of an extreme jerk. By this point in the show, he'd already intended to kill Rick at least once, and also tried to rape Lori back at the CDC. This scene was memorable since, for most fans, it was a scene everyone was waiting for.
Easy does it. Now listen to me, Shane. There's still a way back from this. Nothing has happened here. And we're gonna lay down our guns. We're gonna walk back to the farm. Together. Back to Lori. Back to Carl. Put this all behind us.
I gotta kill all of them! This is you! Michael gotta kill you! You did this to us! This was you, not me! Not me! Not me!
Number 12. The Decapitation of Herschel.
We let go of all of it. And nobody dies. Everyone who's alive right now. Everyone who's made it this far. We've all done the worst kinds of things just to stay alive. But we can still come back. We're not too far gone. We get to come back. I know. We all can change.
Herschel became a beloved character not only for his temperament, but also for the sage advice that he gave to Rick. This scene was memorable because most fans could not have imagined losing Herschel so soon, nor in this way. Number 11. Negan kills Alpha. Negan had grown really close to Alpha.
You.
Looks like Mom's mad at me.
They were so close that I debated this other scene from Season 10, Episode 9 being included as a scene of its own, but rather, I'll just use it as context for this particular scene. After getting close to Alpha, Negan set the stage for this memorable scene.
Took you long enough.
Now for some honorable mentions. In making this video, I'm sure that many people might disagree with me on the order in which I've ranked these scenes, or on which scenes I included and which I excluded, so feel free to put your critiques down in the comments. But before I get into the top 10, I wanted to show a few scenes, a few honorable mentions, those scenes that missed the top 25 but were worthy of some mention. These scenes also exclude some of the more general things that we find throughout the show, such as Carol being a badass, Daryl being a badass, Michonne being a badass, Carol lighting people on fire, Rick going nuts on walkers, Tyrese going nuts on walkers, Sasha going nuts on walkers, Abraham going nuts, Morgan going nuts, and of course, my favorite, all of those Talking Dead scenes where we learn that virtually every character on The Walking Dead is British. So enjoy the rest of these honorable mentions, and I will be back with the top 10.
Where you do not belong. You said I could do it.
Number 10, Glen Dies. Just kidding. We're now into the top 10, and this was one of the most memorable scenes, largely because of the controversy it created within the fan base. Immediately after the episode, the internet was abuzz with various theories and counter-theories as to whether or not Glen actually did die. This final scene was scrutinized closely, very closely, and it wasn't until 4 episodes later that it was finally resolved. It turned out, of course, that Glenn had ironclad plot armor for at least another 9 episodes. Number 9. Rick Grimes' final scene. It's hard to think that the central character of the show since the pilot episode was removed over 1.5 seasons ago. Many speculate that he will reappear in a feature movie in the winter of 2020. This scene is the culmination of an episode full of Rick having flashbacks as he drifts in and out of consciousness on his horse.
No. It's gonna hold. I can't. I can't.
What is he doing? He's hurt!
That herder went right through Hilltop. He's trying to bring down the bridge.
No! We turn them around! Fight him back! Fire your guns! Try to divert them!
No, don't do it. Not for me. It's too many. No.
It's not working! Keep trying!
I found him.
miss. And you wanna take? Don't say that? Yeah.
Stay here. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna save me.
Drifting on the spaceway by the Pizza Juice Hotel, mapping out constellations of the place I know so well. Sifting through the system for the piece that knows my name. Endlessly I list them in the master game. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my only world. My head is full of space junk.
Number 8. Rick bites Joe the Claimer.
It's a lie.
This scene was absolutely savage and was a major step in Rick's character development. The Claimers were an obnoxious group that occupied only 3 episodes, episodes 11, 15, and 16. Since the governor, though, this was the first real villain, and so, at the time, the viewer wasn't able to discern how prominent these guys were going to be.
Listen, it was me. It was just me. See, now that's right. It's not some damn lie. Look, we can settle this. We're reasonable men.
First, we're gonna beat Daryl to death. Then we'll have the girl. Then the boy. Then I'm gonna shoot you, and then we'll be square.
Let him go. Stop your squirm.
Let him go.
I got him. Oh, it's getting so much worse now. Come on, get up! Come on. Let's see what you got. Right over here! What the hell are you gonna do now, sport? I'll kill him! I'll kill him! Let the boy go!
He's mine.
Please!
Number 7. Eugene bites Dwight's junk. The Walking Dead has given us not just one, but 2 epic biting scenes. We leave episode 416 and head over to episode 614 for this one.
You want to kill someone? You start with our companion hiding over there behind the oil barrels. He's a first-class a-hole, and he deserves it so much more than us 3.
Go check it out.
Number 6. The entire Season 10 finale. I started making this video in May 2020 as I binge-watched the entire episode with my girlfriend Melanie. The Season 10 finale was supposed to be April 12th, 2020. However, due to the global health situation, everything has been put off indefinitely. Here we are now at the beginning of June 2020 and still no concrete plans to air the finale in the near future. So I decided to release this video. Accordingly, this scene, which is the episode 16 trailer, didn't make the top 5, but it is memorable for reasons different than the others. It's all people have been talking about in the world of The Walking Dead for about 2 months. The scene is memorable for its intensity and also memorable for the speculation it's fueled in a similar way that Glen's first alleged death did. One major area of speculation is who's going to die in this episode. Lots of people have done videos on that, and I'll just throw my predictions in. I think it will be Luke and Ezekiel. The next major area of speculation is whether we are going to be introduced to the Commonwealth. I also won't elaborate much on who this mega community is, but their existence comes from the comic book series. The last and possibly the most talked about area of speculation is who this is supposed to be.
And that's how we will survive. Together.
Number 5. Sofie emerges from the barn. A tedious part of the second season was searching for Sofie and the moral dilemma of when to stop looking. This came to a head when the main characters of the show started shooting walkers in Herschel's barn. To this point, Herschel had thought the walkers were just sick people, and so he was keeping them in the barn hopefully to be cured one day. This scene was a big part of his reckoning, and with the conclusion of the scene, it allowed the plot to continue in a forward direction.
Now, if y'all want to live, if you want to survive, you gotta fight for it. I'm talking about fight right here, right now. Take the snare ball. Herschel, take the snare ball. Herschel, listen to me, man, please. Take it now. Herschel, take it. No, Jake, do not do this, brother. Come on. Don't do it! Rick! Please! Come on! This is out the way! Please!
Get behind me.
Come on.
Number 4, 2 cars, 1 wire. This one is a little bit different. It makes it this high up on the list simply for the cool factor, with 2 of our main protagonists being extra badass during the war with the Sanctuary and taking out hundreds of walkers within a few seconds.
Rick.
All right. Sasha, Jesus. Can you get back to the hilltop on foot?
Yeah.
Tell Maggie we're not giving up. Go!
Here.
We need every stick, every RPG.
Yeah. Rick. They're gonna cut them off. Should we just split up?
No, the cars. If they run...
We lay on the horn when we started.
I'll bring my arm down and we go.
Yes.
Stay together.
We'll figure it out.
Number 3, Noah in the Revolving Door. Noah became a well-liked character after the whole Grady Memorial Hospital side plot, and especially since the death of Beth. The arrival at Alexandria, however, saw the experienced survivors having to perform scavenging missions with a bunch of unskilled, unsavvy cowards. These circumstances set the stage for one of the most gruesome deaths in the show, with Glenn and ultimately us, the viewer, watching it unfold right before our very eyes.
Hey, baby! Maybe we can shoot our way past them! You guys still have guns! If you have the ammo! We gotta do something, man! We're gonna die in here! There has to be another way. There has to be a way.
Number 2,
Seeing how you live.
Heads on Pikes.
I've walked your streets. It's a joke. Your communities are a shrine to a long-dead world. My people, the Whisperers, we live as nature intended.
That's just how bullshit you feed your sheep. So they'll follow you.
They follow me because I am the alpha. And if the alpha doesn't assert herself, then there's chaos. So that is what I've done.
What did you do?
Your friends back at the camp are fine. Tell them the next time they cross into my land, my horde will cross into theirs. The land between the broken interstates and the river to the south is mine. I'll mark the border to the north. You'll see it as you leave.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
You'll see it as you leave. Go. Your friends will be waiting for you in the field due north.
you seen Frankie?
Have you seen Addie and Rodney? They're supposed to meet me here.
If you happen to see her, could you tell her I need to speak with her?
My mom was here. She's gone, but I can't find Henry.
Something interesting you'll notice is that the names of the people who were killed and whose heads were put on the pikes, the first letter of each of their names, when rearranged, spells out something quite eerie. This memorable scene is also supplemented by Siddiq's eulogy later on in the episode, where he tells his story of having been there to witness the atrocity. He tells an uplifting story of how everybody fought, albeit unsuccessfully in the end. As a standalone scene, this scene gets an honorable mention as well, but it certainly adds some depth and context to the earlier scene of the heads on pikes.
But I want to tell you a different story. See, before the end, Ozzy, Alec, and DJ found us. They gave us an opening, and everyone fought back. They fought like hell. And what they did was more than brave. Because they defended each other. And they sacrificed for each other. And some of them, they didn't even know each other, but they still fought like they did. Like they were family. Till the very end. And in the end, their time was cut short. And ours keeps going. So we have to keep going. For them and for all of us. We need to honor them. We need to honor them, and we need to remember these friends, our family, died as heroes. That's the story that I want to tell you. That's the story that I want us all to remember.
Your wife didn't have a choice. You do. That's all we want. A choice. A chance.
Let us keep trying as long as we can.
I told you topside's locked down. I can't open those.
Come on!
Let's go! Come on, let's go! You can't sit right by me. Move it! Come on! Get out of here, Sofie.
There's your chance. Take it.
Grateful.
The day will come when you won't be.
Number 1. Our introduction to Negan. Most of you probably have guessed by now, if not right from the start, what was going to be likely the most memorable scene. This scene spans 2 episodes and bridges 2 seasons. Beginning in 616 and continuing into 701, this scene has its roots in Season 1 when Dr. Jenner told Rick, who said he was grateful, that the day would come when he wouldn't be. That was the name of Season 7's premiere, which included the conclusion to the number 1 most memorable scene in this series so far. The background to the scene is that Rick had been confident that they could wipe out the Saviors, and even thought that they already had. But as would be seen, Rick grossly underestimated their size, strength, resources, and organization. This point is made clear in Season 6, in the finale, called Last Day on Earth, with the escalating series of encounters that Rick and Abraham have with Simon and other Saviors. The Last Day on Earth reference was a recurring theme through this episode and through the encounters.
You want to make today your last day on Earth?
No, but that is a good thing to bring up. Think about it. What if it's the last day on Earth for you? For someone you love? What if that's true? Maybe you should be extra nice to those people in that RV, because you never know. Just like that. Be kind to each other. Like you said. Like it was your last day on Earth.
You do the same.
Ultimately, the group decided that they were going to carry on foot.
We'll do anything we need to do. We have, and we will. What happened to Denise? I'm not gonna let anybody die like that again.
Son.
What?
Go! Go!
You made it. Welcome to where you're going. We'll take your weapons. Now. We can talk about it. We're done talking. Time to listen.
All right. We got a full boat. Let's meet the man.
Pissing our pants yet? Boy, do I have a feeling we're getting close. Yeah. Gonna be Pee-Pee Pants City here real soon. Which one of you pricks is the leader?
It's this one. He's the guy.
Hi. You're Rick, right? I'm Negan. And I do not appreciate you killing my men. Also, when I sent my people to kill your people for killing my people, you killed more of my people. Not cool. Not cool. You have no idea how not cool that shit is. But I think you're gonna be up to speed shortly. You are so gonna regret crossing me in a few minutes. Yes, you are. You see, Rick, whatever you do, no matter what, you don't mess with the New World Order. New World Order is this, and it's really very simple. So even if you're stupid, which you very may well be, you can understand it. You ready? Here goes. Pay attention. Give me your shit, or I will kill you. Today was career day. We invested a lot so you would know who I am and what I can do. You work for me now. You have shit, you give it to me. That's your job. Now, I know that is a mighty big, nasty pill to swallow. But swallow it. You most certainly will. You ruled the roost. You built something. You thought you were safe. I get it. But the word is out. You are not safe. Not even close. In fact, you are pegged. More pegged if you don't do what I want. And what I want is half your shit. And if that's too much, you can make, find, or steal more, and it'll even out sooner or later. This is your way of life now. The more you fight back, the harder it will be. So if someone knocks on your door, you let us in. We own that door. You try to stop us, and we will knock it down. You understand? What? No answer? You don't really think that you were gonna get through this without being punished now, did you?
I don't want to kill you people. Just want to make that clear from the get-go. I want you to work for me. You can't do that if you're dead, now can you? I'm not growing a garden. But you killed my people, a whole damn lot of them, more than I'm comfortable with. And for that you're gonna pay. So now, I'm gonna beat the holy hell out of one of you. This is Lucille, and she is awesome. All this is just so we can pick out which one of you gets the honor. Huh. Well, I gotta shave this shit. You got one of our guns. Oh. You got a lot of our guns. Shit, kid. Lighten up. Please cry a little. Jesus, you look shitty. I should just put you out of your misery right now.
No! No! God! God!
Nope. Nope, get him back in line.
No. No! No! Don't.
All right, listen. Don't any of you do that again. I will shut that shit down, no exceptions. First one's free. It's an emotional moment. I get it. Sucks, don't it? The moment you realize you don't know shit. It's your kid, right? This is definitely your kid.
So stop this!
Hey! Do not make me kill the little future serial killer. Don't make it easy on me. I gotta pick somebody. Everybody's at the table waiting for me to order. simply cannot decide. I got an idea. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch the tiger by his toe. If he hollers, let him go. My mother told me to pick the very best one. And you are it. Anybody moves, anybody says anything, cut the boy's other eye out and feed it to his father, and then we'll start. You can breathe, you can blink, you can cry. Hell, you're all gonna be doing that. Oh, look at that! Taking it like a champ! Fuck. My nuts. Did you hear that? He said, suck my nuts. Oh my goodness! Look at this! You guys, look at my dirty girl. Sweetheart, lay your eyes on this. Oh, damn. Were you together? That sucks. But if you were, you should know. There was a reason for all this. Red? And hell, he was, is, and will ever be Red. He just took 1 or 6 or 7 for the team. So take a damn look. Take a damn look! No! Oh, no. That? Oh, my. That is a no-no. The whole thing. Not one bit of that shit flies here.
You want me to do it? Right here.
No, you don't kill that. Not until you try a little. And anyway, that's not how it works. Now, I already told you people. First one's free. Then what I say? I said I will shut that shit down. No exceptions. Now, I don't know what kind of lying assholes you've been dealing with, but I'm a man of my word. First impressions are important. I need you to know me. So, back to it. Buddy, you still there? I just don't know. It seems like you're trying to speak, but you just took a hell of a hit. I just popped your skull so hard, your eyeball just popped out. And it is gross as shit.
Maggie, I'll find you.
Oh, hell. I can see this is hard on you guys. I am sorry. I truly am. But I did say it. No exceptions. You bunch of pussies. I'm just getting started. Lucille is thirsty. She is a vampire bat.
It has been an absolute pleasure making this video as a longtime fan of the show. Leave your comments down below, and I hope you all enjoyed this video.